Good morning, everyone. Welcome back from spring break. Hopefully, you took some time to stay away from schoolwork and enjoy what you could. As we start our next few weeks of distance learning here in Math 1, we're going to be covering a topic of focusing on congruent triangles and looking at ways we can identify triangles to be congruent, building different congruency statements over the next few weeks. Hopefully, you'll find that we've cut back a little bit on the work throughout the week, so you should be able to accomplish everything that your teachers give you through the week. This first video is just the foundation of what we will be talking about, and we need to understand two terms from this. The term congruent, which means equal, which is this symbol right here. The equal sign with the tilde sign over top of it is congruent. And then we need to know what the word corresponding means and be able to connect or identify corresponding parts of shapes. We will mostly be focused on triangles, although this example obviously is not a triangle. So as we look at this example, congruent meaning equal, we want to identify what are the equal or congruent corresponding parts. We could start with just this congruency statement right here. Hij is congruent to LMNO, which in terms is giving us what parts are corresponding. H corresponds to L because they're listed in the same spot of the congruency statement. I corresponds to M, J corresponds to N, and K corresponds to O. Just on that congruency statement alone, we can identify corresponding parts. And what we are going to find that corresponding parts are congruent or equal. If we look at the figures, we want to be able to go back to some transformations. We want to be able to rotate, reflect, and translate figures so that they are overlapping one another. That's another way to tell corresponding parts. So if I were to rotate, reflect figure 2 so that it's facing the exact same way of figure 1, I can see that I have OLMN facing the same way. Now I could translate and slide this figure over top. And that would be another way to show that K and O are corresponding. H and L, J and N, I and M are corresponding figures, just like in the congruency statement up here. Once we are able to identify corresponding parts, by either using the congruency statement or by using the figures, we will then build statements based on corresponding parts. Something you will see a lot of. That's a letter T, by the way. Let me fix that. CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. This is an acronym that we will use throughout this unit. So when you see it, don't be alarmed by it. It's just telling you that your corresponding parts are congruent. So once you're able to identify corresponding parts, this statement is telling you that all corresponding parts are congruent. The next video will specifically look at triangles and how we can use the corresponding parts of triangles to help make statements of congruency. So I'll be you'll have a next video very soon. Have a wonderful day.